hopefully that's better. Yeah, I've had that come up a few times lately. I'm still learning the quirks of this new mic here. Aw. Well, to be fair, I'm usually babbling like crazy. But no, is that a little better? Yes, no, maybe so? Yeah, so I had gotten... So after the last mic started acting up a whole bunch, I got a new one. Yeah, go figure. Usually somebody bothers to mention something's wrong with the audio an hour into the thing. But no. So, what the hell was I saying? Yeah, so I ended up getting a new mic for work. And, well, that's the one I ended up using after the last one was a little bit iffy. Because the last one would just randomly mute itself as of the last couple months. Is it your favorite? I believe so. Like, the Tactics Ogre... Well, probably specifically One Vision, but Tactics Ogre in general, probably my favorite. Second place is currently tied between Armored Core 3 and Knight of Lotus. So yes, Tactics Ogre is kind of my top 2 favorite games. Well, tied for the second one, but whatever. Same difference. Alright, let's see, who do we want to go for next? Probably the other archer. Just do the Razorback strat again. And then we gotta take out the sword guy, because he just keeps murdering us with his poison. Dang, poison actually being good now. But yeah, I think it's fair to say at this point, because I've literally been challenge running this thing for now an 11th year in a row. Originally, I didn't even like it, because it wasn't like Knight of Lotus. Because when I was a little kid, I first saw Knight of Lotus and Tactics Ogre. Well, wait a minute. I saw Tactics Ogre, Knight of Lotus, and FFT, and basically had the option to pick one. And so I went to go look for Tactics Ogre and couldn't find it. So ended up getting FFT, ended up going on this long trip, and liked it. So, you know, that's pretty neat, but Knight of Lotus looked pretty cool too. I'm gonna go pick that up at some point. So finally ended up finding it at an EB Games a few months later. Saved up all the money from that lunch money I was supposed to be using for lunch. I was like, hey, if I just starve instead, I can get a video games. So that's what I did. On more than one occasion concerning my teachers, but screw it, whatever. I was like, whatever, I snuck in some just random stuff. You know, save my my $5 at a time. I don't want that crappy personal pizza anyway. So yeah, ended up getting Tactics Ogre, was immediately confused as to what the hell was going on with the music. Because yeah, going from FFT to Knight of Lotus, like that's, especially that very first map, it was such a downer at the first impression there. Like, I love the entire intro, and then it gets to the first one, just like dun 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 dun, do 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 do. I'm like, this is what? I got spoiled. Anyway, yeah, I don't know why they started off with the worst theme in the game. It's oh well. It's funny because it ends up sounding a lot better as time goes on, but oh well. And then yeah, ended up completely missing the entire series up until like 2010. Ended up picking up the PSP remake of Tactics Ogre. Never even got to play the original because I saw the original was there. This was before emulation was absolutely everywhere, or at least emulation that I understood being absolutely everywhere. But yeah, ultimately did. Sorry, got a little bit distracted because for some reason my computer's CD tray just randomly launches itself forward. So, lost my train of thought entirely. Oh well. So let's see, what do you think about Archer's first time if you're going from FFT? Bit of a difference. Although, to be fair, it was going into Knight of Lotus, which had even weaker archers. Oh, hang on one quick second. turns out, my kiddo was only pretending to take a nap. Such things happen. Anyway, as the AI decides to be a douche and take my stuff again. Yeah, I believe this actually picks up later in the game, in terms of them always trying to take your stuff. It's around the point where it seems like they were really unsure over whether they want to let you get your loot or not. So it's like whenever Steph has a chance to drop something good, they're like, no, we can't let them have good things. I will say the vanilla version of this was super stingy about letting you have stuff. I still can't decide whether that's a good or bad thing. Like, from a design perspective, it's really not bad because it forces folks to learn more stuff. But on the other hand, I mean, I know personally, even after almost a decade of running it a few years ago, I still didn't understand most of the stuff in this game because, well, quite frankly, it just didn't let you have stuff. So, yeah. Anyway, we're going to go back to the Razorback strategy here. I want to go for the Cleric next. Alright, anyway, back to the Archer question. So yeah, FFT Archers, absolute trash. Did a single-class run of that at one point. Basically, it just became... It kind of became like Frozen Synapse, actually. Where you're just going and setting up these little ambushes and then taking everything out in one volley, but... yeah, definitely not the most fun class to play with. In Knight of Lotus, they were really awesome, though, because they gave you the ability to basically hit everything forever. Which, yes, basically that's the same thing that FFT Archers did, but it's just somehow more fun when it's agility instead of a skill that just says they don't miss. You know? It feels like you actually accomplished something, not to mention it carries over to other stuff. Like, you train somebody as an archer, sure, they're going to be weak as hell, but then suddenly they're running around and they can't miss with an axe or something like that. So you end up giving them, like, let's say, like the above example, an axe with a insta-kill potential ability. And so you give a long-trained archer the insta-kill weapons or something like that, and they're just never gonna miss, which, yeah, eventually Swordmasters do the same thing for better, but screw it, you know, I felt like I discovered something as a kid when doing that, so it's there as an option. Anyway. Moving on. What do I want to do with this situation? I think what we want to do... I should probably drop a breach on him. What are our items here? Because I know if I... Okay, I've got 9 of those. I'm going to need a lot more of them as time goes on. Okay, I'm going to get Bulwark up. I'm just going to skate along to where the healer is. And move on with the discussion here. So yeah, trying out archers in this one, I thought that they were going to be similar to Knight of Lotus. I mean, I basically approached it assuming it was like KOL, and obviously it was nothing like it in... Well, it's not directly like it. It's just a little hard to describe because all the same ideas are there, just in a different form. Like, for example, like I said earlier, it felt weird not having anything directly translate, but all of it is still there. Like, instead of an emblem system, it's basically the same thing that's going on with the ranked skills in this one, where if you do stuff a certain way, you know, you potentially get those types of benefits off it. We're just going to go ahead and put this one to sleep and see if that's enough to do some good here, because I'm pretty sure they'll heal the venom off right away. See if they decide to go for an attack instead. Yeah, they're just going to go to heal the damage. So if we can build up a meter off these other two, then potentially I can go for the Envenom there, or maybe just put them back to sleep again. Whatever, we'll make it work. But anyway, my first time through this game was actually going down a neutral route with several archers, including the main character being a crossbow guy, which, yeah, the Brimstone Hail is so broken, it's not even funny. And again, I didn't understand most of the mechanics of the game, so it just felt kind of confusing, because it was, like, when I'd gone into it, I specifically gave the guy a crossbow, because one of my favorite ones from KOL was what I called the Modern Army run at the time. This was before I was doing any videos or streaming or anything else. And it was just short sword and crossbow on absolutely every unit, and everyone's only a basic soldier guy. And it's a run that's best described as beating the entire game 10 damage at a time, because you really can't do anything more than that. So, good idea? No. Fun idea? Yes. I don't think I'm accomplishing anything here, so I'm just going to go after this other guy. maybe we can make some progress. She's probably just waking up this next round. I don't know. Theoretically, this fight is winnable. It's super unclear, though. Okay, so she's still sleeping. Good. Build up some meter, maybe. Any dang ways. So, yeah. So, needless to say, I was a little bit surprised going through the entire game, just having him function as a Rambo, more or less. Just detonating everything along the way. Yeah, we're almost definitely going to need to go shard shields at some point. This is getting comical. In fact, no, we're backing out of this one because I know what we need to do. And by the way, for the turn reset, I'm allowing that as long as the turn hasn't ended. It's just with how long the run is to go and toss the entire thing away because I changed my mind. Oh, we just need a breach here. Just chuck one of those on the guy. With any luck, we're going to be doing enough damage that they don't pay attention to it. See, like, Strengthen, they will almost immediately go and get rid of. Breach, they usually don't consider to be as much of an issue. So they usually go for the heal instead. And if we can set up a situation where I've got completely full meter, plus a breach, that should probably do. Okay, never mind. He's going to get rid of that. Right, they actually use their skills now. Alright, it's funny how this fight has gone on long enough that it's a legitimate concern that these guys are going to start ranking up their weapon skills. Let's take a look. Yeah. Oh no. Alright. Let's try that again. Breach again. Hopefully do some damage this time. Because all I need is for him not to breach for one round. That should hopefully be enough, because it does burn through their MP pretty well, but it only... or not MP, but TP. And did all their finishers, so that sucks. And does he get Tabula? No. Okay, so he doesn't view it as enough of a priority to go for on its own. I think he was actually more worried about the stagger than anything else. Alright, how hard is this hit, though? That's the question. 313. Alright, so the scaled up... yeah, if it goes all the way up, it can do it. So all I need to do is sit in place and heal. Unfortunately, we're going to need the full 275. Everything past 100 is give or take about 1 point of extra damage. But again, it's just give or take. It can kind of vary a little bit. Like, for example, in the level 1 run, it became very clear that it started becoming something closer to like 0.4 per point after a certain point, and then in some cases it can just scale up crazy high. So we'll see. We'll see. I mean, considering this is basically just a warm-up, that's kind of hilarious. Alright, we're doing now, 395. Almost there. I almost don't even want to use Distill Life here, I just want to take a regular thing, but what I'd like to do is actually just attack and then use a life, because I want them to keep using all their different moves. There we go. Let's get close to this guy so it feels pressured into attacking, hopefully. Actually, that's what it is. He doesn't care about the breach at all. He was only getting rid of poison on the other guy. Okay, good to know. Good to know. So they completely don't care about breach then. No. Parry? Nah, blocks just as good. That's fine. Okay, now we can get rid of him. Funnily enough, that same trick actually worked in vanilla, although that was for the solo run, and it took about 6 or... I forget how many... actually, no, I think it was like a 2-hour-long fight, in which was combining the, I believe, second dagger finisher with, what's it? With the mead that you get at the start of the game. That's what allowed for actually doing the vanilla solo. But that was the first time around. At that point, I didn't quite know how to do a lot of the super cheesy stuff yet. So, like a complete idiot, I went into the random fights right off the bat. Just kind of assuming, hey, you know, it's gonna be easy. It's Tynmouth. Who cares about Tynmouth? Everything here is weak and terrible and gonna fall apart. And so I couldn't figure out how to win that fight, so I finally went daggers and shields and, you know, just scaling up that dagger repeatedly, repeatedly stabbing the same poor priest for over an hour until getting it ranked up. Ultimately, it turned out, yeah, that was a completely stupid way to approach it, but whatever, it was fun. Now, yeah, let's put these both to sleep. Beautiful. Nap. This other guy helps build up meter. He shouldn't have a finisher ready to go yet. Maybe do some damage off the other guy, then probably throw out another one to put them all asleep. This can work. It might be a little bit easier than taking out the healer directly. Really, the only reason we're using one-handed swords on this guy right now is because of the damage scaling. We're not getting a lot of the major benefits of it so far, but eventually we'll get a little bit more out of it. Come on, parry, do your thing. Rude. Okay. Thankfully, though, that was enough to cause another sleep mode to happen, so we'll go do that. And more naps. The one vision 100% chance debuff thing, very handy. Allows for cheesing fights in very predictable ways. Again, vanilla was kind of weird about that, because usually your odds to hit for some of that stuff was like, I think it was something in the realm of like 25-35% in most cases. So yeah, in most cases it actually wasn't terribly reliable. In this case, yeah, it's pretty nice. Oh, by the way, speaking of the whole archer thing, while I personally got into the genre with FFT, the funny part is the terrible archer thing definitely did not start with FFT. Definitely started back back in March of the Black Queen. Which is funny, because then looking back through the whole chronology of how they handled archers, that basically means that they started off terrible, then they ended up getting a little bit better, and or no, they became pretty good in the original lot, then got nerfed real hard for Night of Lotus, then we're kind of middle of the road for OV64, then became absolutely god tier in this game, and yeah, so it goes and so it goes. The other guy I'm not terribly worried about. She needs to stop. Yeah, the vision healers are a bit tough. It's a good thing they missed. And yeah, I love the fact that in Discord and whatever else for like a year now I've been like, oh man, healers aren't too much of an issue, you just gotta shut them down real good, and then doing the solo run, like, here, just took me an hour to kill one healer. It's situational, but still. Because that does stop her? Yes, it certainly does. Did the job real good, so there we go, it was possible after all. Pretty much everything in this game is potentially workable with enough cheese. I don't know if we ended up getting anything out of it, mind you, but whatever, it's there. And I think after this, with any luck, we'll have enough money to maybe be able to afford to go completely into Earth Magic stuff. And switch. Please drop an item, you dick. Of course he drops a card. Naturally, he'd be the one that drops the card. Alright, whatever, we got like $2 grand out of that. It's fine. It's perfectly fine. See, what I was hoping to do, since the AI kind of caps out after a certain point, I was hoping to eventually get to the point where we can out-gear the AI. So, it's kind of an up and down curve as far as the AI is concerned, where early on they're going to have a minor advantage. After that, they're going to match you for level. then you kind of outpace them for the story battles, going up until... Let's just go ahead and save over this one. Going up until about level 30 there, and then for the random battles, they actually match you. And then after 30, everything completely scales up to whatever level you are up until this tier. So up until you get to Damask and your first level of elemental options, the AI will be able to match you. Anything past that, they can't get to. They just simply don't have it in their item pool. So that's basically how they created a way where the AI still has options for the different elemental builds and stuff like that, but you still have your full-blown crazy options that you could potentially spec into later. Do I want to do Telluric Resonance? I mean, I might as well pick it up. I've got the points. It's not like we're lacking on those. Oh, hell, what did I just do? Alright, well, that's fine. I guess we'll just rebuild it from scratch. So, first off, Earth, yes. Swords are handy. I kind of want to say Deflect might be the way to go forward here. Because ranged is... Actually, no. If we're going for this kind of build, parry's going to be better. Alright, we definitely need the health move. What's opportunity student? Improves buried treasure and grants use of Outflank. So Outflank is what used to be back attack, I believe, where all attacks are considered from the back. I'm not really going to bother with that. We're going to get max TP. That improves bad blood to the point that we could potentially one-shot stuff we wouldn't otherwise be able to one-shot. We'll try to reflect damage along with the shard shield, or maybe even spike shield, we'll see. We're going to get rid of augment water. That's really good though. Okay, whatever, we'll have it on there for now. We don't need to augment earth because, well, we just don't need to. Augment wind for the sword. So that's about 40% extra damage, give or take. What else? Yeah, distill life. What else? What did we use last time is the issue? I think I used Tech 2. Because yeah, I think with Tech 2, that's when we're able to... No, I think we can already consistently do what we need to do. Field Out 2, and then... What else? What can we do here? Stop ward. I still need stop ward. Right. Right. So we gotta sacrifice something here. Once we can get the next crafting upgrade, we'll be able to not have this anymore, because I can just get the priest pants probably. Although that's going to get rid of the flying shoes, although that might not necessarily be an issue. Yeah, I think Ogwater's the one to go. Nah, we're going to get rid of reflect damage. We have other ways to mess with that. In fact, it's still probably not worth it. Improving MP restoration might be the way to go, though. Because let's see, I believe this improves... I think each rank improves it by like 4% or something like that. Like, we'll assume this would upgrade it by like 12 MP per round. This would reduce the cost by 20%. It's already 30. So, what is that? Yeah, that would basically reduce it by just a few points. So yeah, Clarity 2 probably going to be the better one between the two. Because it would functionally improve the cost by about 6 points. Alright. What can we buy? Oh, dang it, hang on one quick second here. Okay, definite proud dad moment there. Had, oh man, so my daughter was sneaking around to get out of taking a nap and whatever else. Ends up waking up anyway, and goes around and decides, you know what, this place needs cleaning, because the last thing that I'd planned for the day was to go and like power clean their room. And sure enough, I go in there and she's actually gone and cleaned the whole thing up. Like, oh man, massive proud dad moment there. Alright, so, I don't know why exactly we don't have some of the stuff I was looking for, but whatever. So we already have Cragfall. I think I might as well pick up the cheap one too, just in case. Like, it's good to have options to scale as far as that goes. Lodestone, pretty useful. Petrifog, pretty useful. And that's really about it. Yeah, it's funny because Earth has more options to it than it did before. But for some reason it feels like it has less. Not sure why. Alright. So I've got like 10 more minutes here, so let's go take a look at Hanging Gardens just to see how we do. I won't be able to make it terribly far, but we'll have the option there. So let's see how this is. All right. I think first order of business, we fly up top, deal with the archers and things. Or is it? No, let's try the direct approach. Actually, no, yeah, we definitely want to cut off some of these guys early. They don't want to deal with a lot of their finishing moves. Plus, if we do it this way, we should hopefully be blocked from actually being hit by things for at least a little bit. Open up the shortcut early. Yep. So if you do it right, you really only have to take about 3 to 4 fights through the Hanging Gardens before you get to Andorras, at which point it's another 3 fights through fairly lackluster enemies before you get to the very end there. I forget if I actually picked up enough holy waters, but even if we didn't, most of them should be possible to knock off a cliff. There's some ways around not having holy water and things like that. Yeah, how many do I actually have? Do I have at least 10? 6. Ugh. Well, that's not great. Alright, well... So what we need is to take another round to use an MP leaf real quick. And from there, hopefully we don't get hit by leaden. I need a place with 1 tile. This will work just fine. With any luck, we should be able to fly straight into their weak units after this and start bullying them. But we'll see. Because kind of the final version I see for this build is an invasion cloak, and then combine it with... probably combine it with a parrying dagger, actually, just because the relatively light weight of those things. But I can't get access to any of those yet. Rude. It's 34%, sir. What do you think you're doing? The cool part about how kind of where we are in the game at this point, almost anything can potentially be a viable strategy. It just takes the right situation. Feels good. Feels good to have everything be so unprecedented that you're basically good to just go freeform mode on it. So what we're gonna do? So, do we want to petrify anything? Not really. If anything's super dangerous, we can petrify it. Otherwise, we just go Razorback. Basically go Razorback into a finisher. Potentially this strategy would work better with Tactician too, but unfortunately we can't spare that. And yes, it does look like it works similarly to Petrify, in which even magic-y stuff does nothing. Actually... Okay, so despite... Oh, crap, we can actually get through Farampa then. Because that's the one issue with that fight. It's not necessarily that they can out-heal stuff. We can absolutely go anywhere now. Actually, I wonder if this works the same way that, the Phalanx did originally. Is that how this skill works? I mean, one way or another, whenever there's stream openings, granted, I have a whole bunch of stuff that I need to get resolved before then, but whenever there's stream openings, I think we're just going to dedicate fully to this run for the next, whenever they're available. Type streams there. I've been doing a kind of random selection of stuff for the hell of it. But I really would like to see this run actually get to the end here. And when we have something that can work this well, not to mention it's fairly renewable, I think it can work. We need to calculate those, how many points we're generating per round. So we've got 87 right now. Just spent 30 of it, so 57. Question is, do we go positive? So this basically renders us more or less immune to damage. In fact, combining this along with the ninja stuff, potentially better than the Mind's Eye strategy I was going with. Oh my goodness. Why am I even doing it this way? I should combine this with the Whip Nuke. Is that an idea? It might potentially be an idea. Oh man. It might potentially be an idea. I don't have a good whip to make that work yet, but oh, this opens up the run completely. Oh man. I really hope I randomly find like 2 grand lying around to just get all of those caught up to be able to just do all this stuff more often. It's a very oddly specific thing. Yeah, we wound up with a bunch of surprise expenses out of nowhere. It was that pet thing from before, which I can probably best describe as sometimes landlords can be absolute dicks. What a shocker. For going on 4 years now, they didn't really care about us having a trainee pup, because it's just what we do, and they're like, hey, it's a charity thing, what, that's fine, I don't care. You already paid for a pet deposit, so who gives a crap? And then suddenly this lady changes her mind, she's like, no, we need more money off this. Oh, but did you say you had a dog die before? Well, I guess we have to charge you for that too. What? Why would you do that? So, anyway. It's neither here nor there, but... Oh yeah, dude, this is sustainable. This is actually sustainable. If we combine this with Remedy, it is legitimately sustainable. We're actually going positive on MP using Razorback every turn. Alright, let's get rid of Silence. Just take a quick round here. Probably should take a Panacea or something like that, to be honest, but we only have so many of those. Who are we kidding? This fight is... we're not keeping this one anyway. I don't think... I was going to say, I don't think we have the option to use the whole Shard Shield approach, just hitting stuff with Silence. Feels like we'd eventually just be able to shake out of that, but, I don't know, thinking about it, maybe it's possible. It's like, if going one-handed, it still would be a benefit. But if going for the whip... If going for the whip approach, stuff might be really interesting, because then it allows for spamming that power move. But at that point, we'd probably want to go full Odd Dark on it, in which case we'd almost need the whip to make that happen. Though this also keeps getting silenced, so that's less than optimal. Maybe it's time to get a caster hat on here. Or potentially just start hitting stuff. I don't know. But either way, we have an idea on how to move forward here. I think... I don't know, whip could work. I'm going to test around with that. I feel like whip could work. I don't think reflect damage will do much good in any case. Because it basically does almost no direct damage reflecting that way, but, like, it's functionally invincibility. Might be able to lure some units off the cliffs, actually. Because if I'm looking at the south side of the map here... Let's see. I have to experiment with it, but I think... no, that's a water tile. Okay, they can't fall into water tiles. Later on, though, we'll be able to throw some people off buildings. So that's good. Can probably actually switch over to knockback and maybe a knife at that point. Is that useful? Maybe. 1 HKs might be potentially really useful with the setup, because then you can do mass sleep. So what do you have on that one? You've got mass sleep, you've got mass... or not mass much of anything. You've got a AoE hit, and you've got a shackle. And a double hit, so... I could do some stuff. Not sure it would be as good as this. In fact, you know what? Screw it, let's take a look at something real quick. Because at this point, it's just theory crafting. This particular attempt is toast anyway. But I want to end it on a positive note, because I hate ending it on the game over screen. So, let's theory craft here. Who can use Razorback? Just room fencers. Okay, they've got the other recovery move. Would give access to spears, would give access to a long-range silence. Okay, that's an option. Heavy armor, though. So that's a plus. Because, yeah, with this kind of setup, it more or less gets around the fact that we have to speed towards anywhere. Because you can just slowly fumble forward. Loses the ability... Let's see... They would lose the ability to shake off debuffs, though. But, again, heavy armor, though. Alright, anyway. Potentially something to look into. I'm going to play around with that until next time, but there is a lot of potential in this strategy here. Because it basically means we can, like, forget flight. We can actually get rid of the flight boots for now, because it, aside from getting around, we can go full tank mode with this, and just more or less be immune and slowly trudge towards wherever. We've basically become a turtle. So, yeah, I like it. I really like the setup. But yeah, we'll look into that next time. Basically, it just means that we have to have enough health to be able to survive one round, and with heavy armor and things like that, we should be in the 600 to 700 range. Especially if I get Rune Fencer up to the same thing, potentially even max it out. That could be insane. Because that would mean pretty much nothing would be able to kill them in one round. And then, yeah, from there, just need something with silence immunity. I think they can use... Okay, what can use hats? I think these guys can use hats, right? Because I'm thinking, yeah, silence immunity hat, get some tank armor. This is interesting. This is more interesting than I expected this to be today. Like, I thought we'd just slowly trudge our way through that particular section there, but nope. Where's the silence proof? Something had silence proof, I think. I know the vanilla version had silence proof. Either way. That's something that we can figure out later. So yeah, I'll play around with this a little bit, see what can we come up with. And, actually, that would be a really good one in general, because it ups MP regeneration even more. Oh, shoot. There's options. There's options now. Anyway, I'll look into all this, so see you guys next time. Take care, and looking forward to see where this particular train wreck goes. Alright, have yourselves a good one. Just gonna finish it off with another ad break thing, because why the hell not? Anyway, take care. Bye.